Hello and welcome to a quick video on heat pumps. So, in this video I'm going to be installing a new heat pump here. So this Duratec, I think it's a 7 Plus, yeah, Duratec 7 Plus or 6 Plus, something like that. I'm going to go with 7 Plus, is packed in. It doesn't fire up, no idea what's going on with it. They're really difficult to get repaired. I have actually got one of these that's also broke, mine broke as well, this one. And I may hopefully see if I can get the parts off of this one that work and the parts off of that one that work and that one that works. So we'll see that. If that ends up in another video, then you know I've done it. I did try to make a video quite a while ago that showed like all the heat pumps that I'd used, but I've only really used the Duratec ones for ponds and they're difficult to get now. So we'll be having a look at a Remora, I think you pronounce it. That's what we're going to be putting on here, see how good that is. There are a lot of differences between them, so this is just a standard heat pump, it just comes on or off. The Remora one's an inverter driven heat pump, which is a lot better. I have used heat pumps to heat the fish house, this one, and I've also got another heat pump that heats my conservatory, and another heat pump that heats my actual house itself. So I do run quite a lot of heat pumps. This one obviously isn't mine. This one's on this pond again, but I will be running. I am in the market for another heat pump for my ponds, and we'll just see how that works out later on. But yeah, let's get this one fitted. So this is it. Bit of an unboxing. But yeah, brand new, all ready to go. Take that off. Yeah, so basically what I'm going to be doing at this bit is just seeing where I need to fit it. Hopefully it's a pretty, if all the ports are in the same place more or less, which they look like they are, it should be quite an easy swap from the one to the other. And maybe just a bit of wiring, some pipe. Yeah, looks nice package unit. Let's get it out of this area and put it next to the other one. So there we go, that's them both put next to each other. They're actually they're very similar size, which is quite surprising because that one is a bigger unit apparently. So that one is a 7 Plus I think, and that was a 9, so God knows what happened there. This one's an inverter driven heat pump and that one isn't, which generally inverter driven ones end up being a little bit bigger, so it probably just shows you how far things have come on since that one was made. So we have got a little Wi-Fi module just here that needs to go indoors somewhere. I'll have to work that one out, I'll put it in a box or something like that. And it's just got a plug on it, and it has got a little bit of protection on the cable, which for me personally I don't think it's a good thing, but I get the point in doing it. But yeah, pretty neat little unit, and I think it's going to be quite an easy swap between the two. Literally the input and output are in exactly the same place. That one's output at the top and that one's outlet at the top. Good, so I ain't got to do any plumbing, that's fantastic, and I think that'll go on there. I just want to say my favourite thing about this thing so far is that I love this input and output where you could just stick a rubber boot on it. It's like, why do pumps and that still come with threaded outputs where you've got a mad print PTFE tape around them? Can't they just have that on them? Everybody puts rubber boots on them anyway, just put that on them. Like this one, the Duratec has a threaded input, so you've got to put the threaded thing into it and then put the rubber boot on. Obviously I put the rubber boot on that, whereas that just has the capability of putting a rubber boot straight on it. Makes my life so much easier. Right, that's actually in place and plumbed up. In fact, water's actually flowing through. I'll put the pump back on. Unbelievable. So I've left that little foot plate on it that's part of the packaging. I've done that because I just wanted to see where it fitted, and like it's a little close to the edge there. I want to put little feet under it, so I'm just going to leave that under it while I get some little feet for it and double check that they're actually in the packet. But all I've got to do now is plug it in. God, that's unbelievably easy. I can't get over it. Something's going to have to go wrong. We're going to have to spend at least 2 hours doing something. This is just too easy. I think, yeah, so this is the first time I've turned it on. It's all lit up. I haven't actually read the instructions, as you can imagine I haven't. 2.53, I don't know what that means. 2.54? Anyway, let's leave it a second just to have a look through it. I don't know how to set this Wi-Fi module up. That's another thing I've got to have a look at. It is on and not connected to Wi-Fi. The water just starting to come out. So the water that's going through this, so it comes through the drum, through this K1 chamber, through that pump, into here, into that Eric filter, and out that blade there. What's that saying? 2.54. Yeah, I'll have to have a little play with it off camera. If I do it on camera, I'll make mistakes. But I'll come back to you with what I end up doing. It'd be interesting to connect this to Wi-Fi and see what it says. But yeah, I think although the building's just there, I might just stick this in a box so cables aren't trailing everywhere. 'Cause as you've seen, dogs are very lively, and any trailing cable, they will pull it. So I might get a waterproof box for this to go in. Nice, found some feet in the box, so I'll probably be putting them on. I don't know what 2.55 means. Let's press start. On? On. Heat. So the pond is 10.4 degrees, that does sound about right. You don't want to be 28. Let's set it to 13. So we've got options for heating, cooling, good. I actually like the cooling feature, as you know, if you've seen my other heat pumps, I actually used it in cooling more than I did heating. The fan's coming on. The speed of the fan's kind of matching the frame rate of the camera, so it's actually spinning quite fast, that fan. But it does look like it's going backwards and slow. It's not. Yeah. Cute. Cool breeze is nice. I can hear the heat pump on already. That's good. Let's leave it running like that. See if it calms itself down. It might be. Yeah, it's slowing down now. I can feel it blowing out quite cold air. Don't know how it comes across on camera, but it's pretty quiet little unit. Especially now it's slowed down, but even at full speed it was thinking it's definitely quieter than that one. Yeah, that's my favourite thing about inverter driven heat pumps. Slows right down. Just ticks over. It's nice to know how much power it's using. I should have bought my power tester. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this little guy. Yeah, it's a nice little setup. I definitely will be looking at these when it comes to putting some on my ponds. I have been in need of a new heat pump for quite a while, but I've been putting it off because I've got so many different ideas going around my head, and I've got a lot on at the minute. But I think it might be a case of going back to basics and going with something like this. I did want sort of one big heat pump that just heat all three of my ponds, but with how easy this were to put together, I think it might just be a case of one for each heat pump. One heat pump for each pond. It's not like it saves any money buying a big one, plumbing it all the way around the house. So yeah, this is definitely a nice little unit. It's definitely ticking over nicely. I'll get an hour and I'll come back. I'm not going to fit them feet today because they want bolting into the floor, and I don't want to bolt into these tiles anyway, so I'm going to probably get it some actual proper little feet to sit on. So I'll just leave it on that board for now. But yeah, I'll come back in a bit I need to set up that Wi-Fi thing, but obviously it's not mine, so I'm not going to set it up on my phone. There we go, see you in a bit. So a quick look at the other things that come in the box. So these are sort of hose tails, whatever you want to call them, that would fit in your outlet if you do want to put a threaded end on it, which should then go on these. This, I presume this, I have no idea, I'm making this up. So I presume that is actually the wastewater outlet. So obviously these things drip a lot, so I'm presuming that that little pin there will go in, yeah, so that would go in the bottom, probably there, look. Yeah, and then that pipe can run to a drain or something like that. That is a good idea, because they do produce a lot of water, so the area around them will be always damp. In this case I'm not going to do it because I'm only going to plumb it to like over here anyway, which it'll find its way there on its own, and I don't want that freezing up. So obviously what will happen is what I imagine will happen is the pipe will freeze up at some point, and then it'll freeze the water in here, and then the water will start to fill up a little bit and touch the bottom of the thing, and then the actual heater will have to defrost all that ice. Whereas if it just falls out at the bottom onto the floor, it don't really matter here. It's just if you've got it somewhere where you don't want it to be always damp, you'll need to put that on. Yeah, it's a nice little setup. Oh, as well, I've read the instruction book, surprisingly, and this can actually be mounted inside here, so I'll probably be doing that as well. We'll set it up first, get it running, and then disconnect it all and put it inside. So I might even be able to show you what it looks like inside the heater. So I don't know how you get in it. Probably take this lid off. I'll take this faceplate off. I'll have a look into it. But yeah, running nicely. What's the bond there? 10.4 degrees. Right, come back to it in a bit. So we've been running for about 2 hours now, and it's 11.1 degrees. So it's not doing quite too bad actually. Did I expect it a little bit more than that? Probably, but at least it's not raising it too fast, because it's pointless anyway. But yeah, it's coming up steady away. This pond is pretty difficult to heat. Obviously the hot water's dropping off that blade as well, which doesn't help, but this, we're actually going to fiberglass this pond in June, so that'll be a video. But once we've fiberglassed it, there'll be a lot of things changing. It'll be really well insulated. Like all this pipe where it's going to be moved, because we'll end up putting a proper bottom drain in and digging it in, so you know, it'll be a lot more efficient when that happens as regards to heating and stuff like that. So it's not really worth like lagging the pipe work and that at the minute. Nice bit of water trickling out in it. That's what I'm on about with water. So if I'd have put that pipe on, obviously it'd just run down pipe and trickle somewhere else, but it's fine there. And I am going to change that board. It's on my to-do list, but now I'm just going to wrap these up for tonight and then set it up later, so that they're not going to get rained on or out. But yeah, I'm really impressed with it. If somebody from Remora wants to sponsor me and give me a free one and make a video on it and print it on my pond, I'd be very much appreciative. Mostly because I can't afford one. But there we go. But yeah, lovely piece of kit. We'll have to see how it goes. It'd be interesting to see. Obviously, I mean, it's 10 degrees out now, so it's not much work for a heat pump. When it's frosty and cold and below 0 degrees, that's where we'll see if it has any trouble or not. That didn't. This heat pump, they do. They're a lot cheaper, a lot simpler heat pump, and I've got them because the crap, but they do the job that I wanted them to do. But obviously I don't think this one will have any trouble with icing up like that other one did I just showed you. There we go. That's a Duratec heat pump running, if you want to compare the sound output of the two. So this is the app for the phone, and it was really easy to set up. I was quite pleased with it. Very simple app. So the dial just lets you adjust the temperature of the heat pump, and the temperature at the bottom that you can see, 13 degrees, is the temperature at the pond. So it's quite a simple little setup, but very functional. So the heater's been running great now for the past few days. The pond's temperature is 10.1, but we didn't cover it. I've only just covered it up. This pond takes a lot of heating. I'm not quite sure why. So it's no fault of the heater. In fact, it's doing quite well keeping it at 10.1, but this pond's actually got a leak on it, so there's quite a lot of fresh water going in. It'll be next year's job to fiberglass it, as I think I've already mentioned. So yeah, it's doing pretty well, and yeah, it's pretty cold outside, as you can see with the snow, and it's running. It's not working too hard. I've ended up putting the Wi-Fi thing in a bag there, but I'm going to put it in a proper box and seal it up and make a better job of that. And yeah, it's quite great. I can't get over it, to be honest. Usually when devices like this have got some sort of Wi-Fi attachment to it, you just think, oh, it's a gimmick. It's going to be that difficult to set up, I'll never bother using it. It actually took me a couple of days to even bother setting it up, and all I did was press a button and install the app on the phone. Brilliant. It's actually really good, really practical. You can easily see what temperature your pond's at and change the temperature remotely. Not that you really do very often on a pond, but it's nice to know what the temperature actually is. But yeah, so the pond's covered up a bit now, and I did have that Herrick filter running as well, so the heater's output run through the Herrick filter and then came into the pond. I've now turned that off, and so I think that was sucking a lot of heat out of the actual system. But yeah, the fish are not particularly pleased, but I won't be in 10-degree water. I think so. Tomorrow's Saturday, and it's going to be quite warm tomorrow, I think. So I don't think we're going to be. I think the temperature's going to come up nicely and settle, and then we'll be all right. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that heater. It's doing a fantastic job. Yeah, if you're in the market for a heater, I definitely recommend looking at these. I think I've caught it running a defrost cycle. It's actually not very frosty. Just turn back on. Fan's not turning. If the camera's picking it up, but you can see the frost off it just melting away. That's cool. Yeah, it's running a defrost cycle. See, the fan's not on. There you go, frost gone. Pretty interesting. There you go. So what the defrost cycle is, for those who don't know, is just instead of cooling this element to heat the water, it's just probably taking a little bit of heat out of the water to heat this element, just to knock all frost off it. You can actually see it steaming. The camera's picking that up. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, you can feel the heat coming off it. Wow, that's quite a powerful defrost cycle. Righty. Wow. Oh, good timing to spot it on a defrost cycle. Yeah, then now it'll just start back up and carry on running as it were. There we go. That's the end of the defrost cycle, I think. Oh, fans come back on. Ooh, nice and warm. Cold now. That's cool. There you go. A defrost cycle. So if you like this video, then please like it. If you want to see more videos like this and fishing related videos, then please feel free to subscribe. Any questions or comments, put them down below, and I shall see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.